please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? So we're entering the month of April. I'm going to preface this by saying the following. I honestly thought throughout this month she would run out of money. There are aspects of this, her timeline that is, where it looks quite obvious that she is running low on funds. We know this because Salah doesn't feature as much, which has become a prevailing theme. Her views are diminishing, she's getting less donations. When she sets goals to go and do things like go on trips, via super chats, if she hits the goal she goes and does it, she doesn't do it. She then rages at her chat when they hold her accountable for it. I released during this month 2 videos. Because of how long these segments take to put together, I am going to phone this one in. I'm just going to play the 2 videos I made because they absolutely demonstrate just how crappy the situation she is in and how badly she's not, well, doing anything to improve it. If that makes sense? Yeah. Today we're going to be delving into the world of soon-to-be bankrupt, undoubtedly on a visa run in the near future, Chantal. If she's not already done her, let's say, tri-annual visa hop, I'd be very impressed, and she is due one soon. With her going broke, minimal donations coming in, her streams going down the crapper, her only chance of relevancy is to start fights with the haters. Yet she simultaneously apparently hates them. I think they love each other. I'm going to call this now, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if they were in a WhatsApp group together. Just saying. With her money drying up, loans not likely, credit cards, good luck. Salah's chance, his chance of going to Canada, green card of the dream land of Canada, because everyone wants to go there, where everything's expensive. Going down the crapper, him featuring less than content, and Chantal becoming even more of a mess and breaking every resolution within the first 4 weeks. This is a great time to be Chantal. She recently uploaded something that is close to my heart. As a man that loves himself a cheeky Nando's, I'm intrigued to see what she got and what she thinks, and this gives us an opportunity to point at some of her more recent activities and critique her critique of Nando's.
Cameos are personal videos from me to you.
Yes, indeed, to me to you, to me to you, to me to me to me to you. The reason she's doing a 20% discount is because money's dried up. I really want her just to admit defeat at this point, but somebody is too set in their ways to maintain the facade. It's unlikely. I wanted to include a little bit of her cameo just to highlight this as a point of money drying up. She wouldn't do a discount for any other reason.
Guys, before I start this video, I just want to let you know that I finally have some merch out.
Yes, I saw the pictures. I was curious where you stole the images from. Slightly more energy in them than Amber's. But you know what? You do you, boo. I can't imagine you'll get much from it, but if you do, well done. You still have 1 or 2 simps. Guys, by the way, she's going broke. Can you tell?
So, please head over to the Foodie Beauty shop. I will put the link in the description below. And you can see a little bit of my merch here. This is just the first wave. This is the first time I'm ever doing something like this, so...
Yes, we get it. You've run out of money. Fun fact, Foodie Beauty is a trademarked term, as is Bisa for that matter, so she can't use either of them in her merch. Not legally, anyway. Not trademarked by her, just to be clear. Additionally, I'm pretty sure the majority of these images were stolen off something else, because there's no way she paid for someone to design these for her. While they're marginally more energetic than that of Amber's, which was just a chosen font on Teespring, this is still not much in the way of an improvement. And yes, we all know you're running out of money, and additionally, this image here is clearly 3 to 4 sizes too small for what you really are. We know how the filters work. Since Chantal is busy promoting her Teespring, not Teespring, whatever this is, yes, I'm going to promote something of my own. A couple of years ago, or last year, I can't remember which, I was asked if I wanted to be on the lolcow trading card game they were making. And that's because World was getting a set, and should still be in the future. There are some cards available on a website I'm linking down below. This is a more recent card that has been made for Tiger King. How exciting. I'm getting a card as well. There are a few people who are, and there are going to be sets made. There is a discount code, Cthulhu. If you want to support this channel, yes, it actually does benefit me in that respect, click the link in the pinned comment and buy some cards. If you like trading card games, this is certainly within your ballpark. Certainly worth checking out. And there will be a better ad in the future for this. Just, I'm too awkward. Okay? Thank you.
I got dinner. Okay, you guys. This is my first time trying Nando's here. I haven't even had Nando's like very often in Canada. And I had the sandwiches. I never had any of their like main dishes. So today I'm trying a main dish. I'm trying their creamy cashew chicken. And I made it hot. So it comes in this like container here.
I'm not going to be so silly as to deny Nando's is a bit on the expensive side, especially if you are living a bit more, not as wealthy as you once were, like Chantal. So I could believe either Salah paid for this meal in its entirety, or this is the only meal Chantal gets for the day. Additionally, if you're smart, you look at the options available on the menu. For example, many do offers. In the UK, you can get 3 starters for a certain price. Go with 3 starters of halloumi. The reason why is because if you buy 2 separately, it costs the same as what you'd get for getting 3 of them, so you may as well get the third one and pay £10 rather than £9.98. Yes, I know my halloumi deals. Additionally, for someone of your size, a meal for 2 might have been a more advantageous option to you, rather than buying these quaint little pots so you can fit it on your tiny little desk. Although I could believe on the side you have a whole chicken. Lemon and herb, because while you like to claim you can handle spice, we both know you can't. And I feel sorry for your toilet.
With rice. Okay. Is the sauce already on it, or? Okay, I need to just like cut these off.
If you are by chance a regular viewer of Chantal, you'll recognise what you see on the screen, not the food, because that's way out of her price bracket. No. The expressions on her face. You see, when Chantal's looking forward to eating something, it's normally a very basic. Usually a chicken royale will do it. A Big Mac. The standard stuff. Back during her Ibiza days, bacon. Lots of it. The problem with this is Chantal doesn't actually know what she's eating. Unlike Amber, she doesn't have the food anxiety, but she does have the, oh, am I even going to like this? Moment situation type deal on her face. And I won't lie, I'm okay with this. Although I will admit the food does look moderately tasty, but because I know it's halal, I ain't bloody touching it.
Comes with a yogurt kind of sauce. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. So, I think you're supposed to pour it on the chicken. It looks good.
It does, but it doesn't look like there's enough food there for you. So where's the rest of it? Where's the bonus rice? Bonus chicken, whole chicken, just to be clear, and then the subsequent bonus sandwich from Burger King.
And then, oh, we have a side order of their veggies. I know you can't really see this stuff very well, can you? All right. Let me try some of the veggies.
Since I saw a recent picture of you using a tripod, have you considered getting a slightly taller tripod? One where you could angle the camera a bit better so that it's aiming down towards the food. Also, it gives you the opportunity to not only use the filters to make yourself look thinner, but you get to go with the fat girl angle for the selfies. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, this may well save her having to implement filters. Mercifully, gravity's not on her side, nor mirrors.
Beauty bite. So we have some grilled mushroom, pepper, carrot, and zucchini. Like all the veggies in one bite. That's actually pretty perfect. They're actually like
not chewed and working their way down your esophagus because you wiggle your jaw instead. In fact, that weird little tantrum bit at the end there was you actually touching a nerve part on your mouth because your teeth are fake. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted. My apologies.
It's still very hot and good. Okay, what is this? It's like their yogurt sauce. Let's try the rice and cashew sauce. Beauty bite. Mmm.
What I love is about this dish, it looks yummy, I'm not going to deny that, because I like my Nando's and I also like a curry. Of course I do. But you haven't looked at what you're getting, you've just ordered it cause. You are so ill-prepared for your mukbangs. The only time you know what you're talking about is when you're eating burgers. And you're only happy then because, well, you didn't make it, and apparently that's the pinnacle of flavour to you.
Just tastes like yogurt. Now,
when I do streams on Moistski Live, channel link down below, I like to introduce a game of Count the Chews. To prove the point that Chantal doesn't chew her food, not only do you have to observe the wiggling of her jaw, you watch the mouth go up and down. She never exceeds 6. When it involves anything like rice, bread, and most meats, she finds a way to just swallow that down. She's a bit like Bevo, but built for it. Swallowing, that is. And since, when it comes to the yogurt, that's the nearest she ever gets to swallowing something like that, I guess she may as well enjoy it while it lasts. Yes, I had to make a crass joke, you're all welcome.
let's try the chicken. With some yogurt. I never ordered Nando's from here because it's full on pretty pricey, and we can get chicken other places.
Yes, you can get chicken in virtually every place you go to that is a bit more affordable or up your price range, down your price range. This is definitely one of those meals where I will happily admit it is a treat to have. If you're going to have chimkin, you may as well go the whole hog if you can, but that doesn't mean it should be your preference. There are some who are undoubtedly going to love this regardless. Something that always baffles me about this type of content is that Chantal spends a lot of time doing nothing, saying nothing. She doesn't tell us about the food really, she just talks about Sometimes she'll have a hot take, but in this the hot take's been removed because she's using the yogurt to offset the hotness.
But I can tell it's like high quality food. So I decided to get it today because it was on sale.
I could believe that you managed to get a coupon or Nando's on sale so that you can then justify doing this as a mukbang because you've got no money left and you need every opportunity you can to show a little variety in your content. Let's not forget here, it wasn't that long ago you did all the mukbang funerals, and then a day later admitted you couldn't do those like you couldn't do a water fast because you need to eat to take your medications. You are a slave to your diminishing health. Now, if you really want to save some money, a quick Google search told me that the 3 cheapest countries in the world to live in, where you'd need to make about $400 a month, would be Pakistan, Egypt, and Bhutan. Now, Egypt, you've got no chance of getting into, but you might have a chance with Bhutan. You might, when your Kuwaiti dream is over and you're done living in your weird-looking prison cell apartment with your roommate Salah.
There was a discount, but you could tell the veggies are like fresh, not like frozen. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be that person and say what everyone else is thinking. No one cares about the vegetables or the food. We just want to know when the next visa run is, because it should be at some point in the not-so-distant future. You ordering Nando's seems very poorly timed. You see, if you're going to have a last meal with your husband, this is quite the meal to go for. But since he's not in the room, I can't envision there being much of a sad goodbye this time. How many more visa runs are you allowed to do, by the way? Is this an infinite cycle? Is that what we're shooting for?
It's a flavor I've never really had. It's kind of like a butter chicken sauce, but less spices, and it's like tomato-y and creamy. But there's also another spice in here. I can't quite describe what it is.
Man, I just love insightful beauty. Like, honestly, Right now I've got my notebook out, I'm taking notes, I'm jotting everything here down from the flavour profile, because that's what we're all here for. We're here to listen to Chantal tell us so much about the Nando's. I don't know if I can roll my eyes any harder. You say you ordered hot. I honestly believe you're a lemon and herb person. Barbecue if you're really not feeling the lemon.
Anyways, guys, yeah, the Nando's here pretty different from the one I remember in Canada, with dishes being served.
That, and you also have money back then. Not that I ever got to see you go into a Nando's restaurant and sit there, because I can't imagine you'd have much space to fit your girth back then, especially into the space. Yes, I'm making obvious commentary here. I've skipped to the end because the eating part is mostly just her going, yeah, well, you know what, but okay. Lip-smacking noises, not chewing the food, wiggling her jaw, and then weird flex about the heat. Because she can take it, everyone. It's the only thing she can take these days, because she sure as heck ain't taking it else.
Maybe when they go on sale again in 2 years, I'll try the appetizer set. It's like olives. It's like a few olives, a thing of hummus, a few pita, and a red pepper jam for like 25 bucks. I see, like, that's just like, we can get a tub of like good hummus here, fresh, for like $1.50. You know, it's just like things like that I just can't justify. So that's why, you know, that's why I wait for these things to go on sale, because they're pretty pricey here. Like,
no one's going to deny Nando's is not cheap. No one's also going to deny you broke. The only way you afford Nando's, which is a damning statement of how broke you are, is when it goes on sale. Because you do so many different types of mukbang from all the other major, and say different types, the same type, but you do all the different takeaway places, right? And then you try and show us the more commonly consumed foods of the region, and then you try and show us you cook it. Nando's doesn't factor unless it's genuinely a last thing majiggy before you go on a visa run. If the merch doesn't yield an outcome for you in the positive, which I can't imagine it will, because payouts, if that doesn't work, or the cameos, and you don't get more sponsors from the 3 to 4 simps that you have left, you're looking at another visa run, and you're probably going to be stuck somewhere, Thailand again, for a while. Although I have already mentioned there are cheaper places. It's just whether or not you'll be able to stay, and whether or not you'll be allowed to bring Salah, who is Syrian, to places like Egypt or Pakistan or Bhutan, if he would want to leave in the first place. You've dug a hole for yourself. This horrid little hole of delusion, where you need it to look right, when we all know something about it reeks of shenanigans. Like you chewing food. So the first set of clips we're going to go through come directly from a mukbang, where she was eating pizza. Now this is undoubtedly after being paid, so she had money to buy big food, which would have made her very happy and sustained her for at least 4 hours. Considering the situation she's in, which is getting worse and worse and worse, and more closer to the area of dire, I'm impressed she's willing to keep doing this. But I do have a sneaky feeling, based on the community she's created, she'll end up like Hungry Fat Chick. But whereas Hungry Fat Chick is not a remotely controversial person, Chantal's failings, if she actually did lose weight, would be because people would be bored of her and she'd lose her audience, then would have to keep eating to get them back, along with being rude to them. It's a theory I've had that she's now, much like Amber, a bit of a slave for views. It's why she has little donation goals, which she doesn't hit most of the time. And the cameo thing as well, I believe, where people can give her money to do very particular mukbangs. Specific, I think is the correct word. So let's dive into some of the clips from the pizza mukbang and see what nonsense comes out of her mouth, or goes into her mouth, today. Okay, so there are 3 things we need to address. Firstly, ew on the mouth noises. That was intentionally done because ASMR is quite popular and it certainly does lean into the kink of feeders. Second, Chantal barely chews her food, which leads on to the third part. Why does she tilt her head back? Now I think she does it because she doesn't have a gullet, some have, where they can just open it up and take food in without having to, or drinks, without having to give too much thought to, chewing it. Because the stomach does the rest, which is how people like idiots like Bevo act, and then rate it 7 out of 10. You know the rules. I'm going to still lean on the belief that Chantal doesn't really have many real teeth left, and that those front two are dentures. And I don't think she chews, I think she wiggles her mouth. Because she has so much food there, which is why she was shoveling it in, she tilted her head back to get it down quicker. And she still doesn't do more than 6 chews typically for food, less if it is like rice, because she can just swallow that whole.
Autumn, Halloween, stuff like that, you know? And yes, I'll say it again one last time. I can celebrate Halloween as long as I don't worship Satan as a Muslim, okay?
At no point has Halloween ever been about the worship of Satan. I know it is associated with things that are more supernatural. I swear that wasn't me. That was Mia announcing herself. You're welcome, everyone. No, it's associated with, like, ghosts and monsters. Satan doesn't feature, but I know there are costumes. Its origins for Halloween is rooted in Samhain, and then All Hallows Eve. So, pagan holiday, and then Christians because they destroyed the pagans. There are no satanic roots at all. Anyone that thinks Halloween's an association, or is in association in cahoots with Satanism, usually comes from a level of misunderstanding which is typical of Chantal. I'm not surprised in a standalone video she would do this. She's done this of late with very weird, like, non-sequitur conversations to pad the video out so it's not just her sat there eating going, oh, which has become a bit of a trademark of hers of late. And because of the asinine nature of these conversations, it just shows how dumb she is.
And I don't. On Halloween, I worship chocolate bars, not Satan. You know? The only one I worship, Allah. Alhamdulillah. Alright, guys. And,
First things first. We know you worship food. You don't need to tell us otherwise. You can call them God if you wish. Your deity could in fact be a big dairy milk. Who am I to judge? Or Hershey's because you like inferior quality. No one believes you are a believer of any kind of deity in the slightest. And if you were, you'd be one of the bigger insults to that faith. I'm not a religious person. I don't subscribe to the idea of, well, any faith, any kind of disbelief either. I don't care for any of it. As far as I'm concerned, it's crap. But you using it as you do, and trying to raise it as a point to make yourself seem like you're more in tune with your good and faithful and honest and truthful and lovely, lovely, lovely side, is just a smokescreen for what you really are. In fact, I could believe if Satan existed, you were created by Satan to entertain us. But since Satan doesn't exist, we can just blame your parents for failing?
today, I thought I would revisit an old story time because I used to do pizza mukbangs a lot. I was well known for those and my crazy story times.
In this video, she does revisit some of her old stories, but what she does is retell a story differently to remove some of the more unsavory elements that could get her into trouble with her beloved husband, so she can appear even more like a good Muslim or a Muslim in waiting, right? The only thing I remember of your story times were the TMIs, when you would tell us of all the guys you banged and how they would interact with your body. The Dingleberry story's the one. It's because of Michael B. Petty, man. I remember that so clearly because of him, and it's so hard to get that out of my head. We got her with the Dingleberries being picked out of a bottom. We've got Amber Lynn Reid, or just Amber these days. Amber, backing dead ass. This vehicle is reversing into the edge of a sink with a washcloth. The poor, defenseless washcloth. F in the comments. Not only for the person picking the Dingleberries, although that's an interesting one, alright, but also the washcloths. Poor guys never deserved that. They deserve to live. Now, I only really need to show you those 3 clips because basically this is the style of content she is now producing. She'll tell some random story, retell a random story, contradict old information, which ties into Salah a little because he had... Oh god, the age thing confused me. He posted a picture of him with some medals. Now, I have no issue with anyone who has won anything or participated in anything martial arts. I did judo as a kid. I have no issue at all. Never competed because I didn't want to hurt anyone. I just like the training part. I do, though, have some finalist medals for Warhammer painting. So I've got something I was happy to beat others with. Since I can't airbrush and I can't do non-metallic painting, I know damn well I'm never going to be any good anymore. But it doesn't matter. Salah had posted a picture and given us another timeline based on Chantal's timeline the age gap between them and the age of when he got them, it doesn't line up. It's so confusing. I swear it's done on purpose. Another one of these cute little smoke screens to either make him seem younger or older. Or younger according to them, but older when we realise the actual number, right? It's just so dumb. It really is. So we'll go to one of her live streams with some clips that were shared about as well.
Yeah, but that she called him a crackhead, a dishwasher, a druggie, an abuser. So he is a druggie and he is an abuser, yes. And all she has to do is show the Sam's Bar Lounge video if he ever takes her to court, so...
This, for the sake of context, is Chantal yet again inserting herself into the life of Nada, somebody who I'm somewhat impressed never bothered to copyright claim or privacy complaint Chantal, considering whenever she's mentioned him, that is, he would have had ample opportunity to do that, but he didn't. Misa thinking these are still in contact. I really do believe that. It's funny to me that Chantal mentions this kind of stuff because she inserted herself into certain dramas and then claimed videos of APUSE were hers. But there is no video. It's all anecdotal from Chantal. Sounds like Amber giving evidence these days, doesn't it?
Hey, Green Grape. I mean, I'm not the type of person to just, like, agree with someone. Like, I'm, you know...
Based on that fashion runway walk you did and FFG went there to meet you, I'm not inclined to believe that. You become a bit of a sucker when it comes to in-person meetings, even if it is with your arch-nemesis.
Her response is actually not that great. No doubt, because Lisa Manning is a joke of a fucking lawyer, that's why. She's a Lionel Hutz in Gore World. Lionel Hutz. You don't even have to be a lawyer to know that you cannot request his legal income taxes. Right?
I'm somewhat impressed that this is the conversation Chantal wants to be having. Lionel Hutz, by the way, is a character from The Simpsons. When it comes to discussing anything about Nada, I would have thought, considering all that you claim he did to you, went back on and then claim he did anyway, that you would want to distance yourself from ever referencing him because that would give him further relevancy. Diminished because you no longer carry much internet weight, you carry real weight. So it's a bit of a different currency. But Chantal having to mention Nada as an excuse to create conversation or allowing it to persist is a damning statement for what little she has in the way of stream quality. Then again, she does just fire up a stream and get on with it. There's no intro, starting soon thing, get the audience in. It's not a show, even though to her it is a show. It is the lowest common denominator because it makes her the most money, and she doesn't really make much money at the same time. We know this because she does do some videos near the end of the month, cooking food. I'm wondering how much of her salary is, what she makes from YouTube, salary-wise, goes on paying debt.
Cease and desist is very easy to draw up, yeah. Are you able to do your own? You could find templates, but I don't think it's like legally binding unless it's like drafted by a lawyer. I don't know.
Consider this a public service announcement. If you are a streamer and all you do is sit staring at the chat, waiting for them to engage with you so you can give them nuggets of wisdom, bad talk other people, try and vaguely understand something you don't understand, you're a crap streamer. Simple as that. We have more clips though, so I'm going to go to something slightly different.
Even if it was Special Olympics, biatch, FAS looking ugly Cabbage Patch, I would still love him.
Chantal has been stealing insults from Gore World, as it's known, although I would point out that I had speculated years ago, I'd say 2019, possibly earlier, that Chantal looked like somebody with fetal alcohol syndrome, which is more commonly known as FAS. These insults are a direct shot at, well, you mentioned Cabbage Patch, it's got to be Yaba, I think. I've heard her use that regurgitated insult series. She likes to throw all the same insults back at the people sending them her way, but I'm going to claim ownership of FAS because I didn't recall anyone else within Hater Nation saying it before Gore World rose up. Yes, I'm claiming that, and I'm very proud of it, along with Make England Great Again, which has been stolen as well. I'm a little bit salty.
He's liberal. Oh, cool, yeah. I'm glad Polyev didn't get in, that's all.
Right now, I will admit I've spent an inordinate amount of time laughing at Canada and laughing at the Conservatives who had a really good chance to win because their strategy was to attack Liberals, for being liberals, when all they did was change the leader who, at that point, Carney was never elected. He was simply chosen. It cracked me up to no end that people would vote for liberals who for 10 years have had a pretty good run of hurting the economy massively and are now using the former governor for the Bank of England to try and seem like they're economically stable. So hopefully in 4 years it goes well, but if not, learn your sodding lesson. Chantal having an opinion on Canadian politics is funny, considering the only thing she wants from it is the one thing she doesn't have access to: healthcare. She doesn't have access to it because she owes money in taxes, and she's not paying that either. And I know taxation is theft, but when it comes to Chantal, I'd like to think that she does owe, and so she should pay. Your Canadian elections, much like the German elections and the French elections, tickled me to no end. We English have suffered enough, and it's only been a year. Hopefully the rest of you catch up. Enjoy that. And no, I'm not suggesting voting Conservative or Reform. I firmly subscribe to No Lives Matter. Vote for me, I end all of you, it's over, you're welcome.
And I know she hates me, and she wants me to be beat up. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna come beat me up yourself? Bring it on, bitch. I've been watching lots of Kung Fu movies. Racist to Canadians. Yeah, it's like because she's like beefing with like she doesn't like me and she doesn't like FFG, so now she's like against all Canadians.
That is a perfectly reasonable position to take for the 51st state of the United States of America. I have Labour in government. I'm allowed to laugh at your suffering as well. If you don't like that, I don't care.
No offense, but you kind of make Indiana look really dumb, so I wouldn't talk.
Rather than play more of this, I want to highlight that Chantal likes to take digs at where people are from, where they live, and then speak down about them. You're Canadian, you're clearly not educated, you like to rag on others for their education level, you have no creativity, no original thoughts, you take all your insults from other people. Your clapbacks, your best ones came when you were drunk and high in Cuba. And I say they're your best ones, they were the worst ones as well. You don't have an iota of a leg to stand on in two very different areas. One being physical, because seriously you can't walk much at all, you waddle. You're almost at the level of Amber, South Park-esque character movement, and you're certainly looking as wide as she is. The only reason you might look slightly thinner is filters and that chin strap you wear around your head. You don't have any leg to stand on here either, because you give and take. You claim to want to be better, but you undo it immediately because you need them. The symbiotic relationship you have with your haters will, because of your ego, persist until your dying day, upon which one of those aforementioned haters will take your place, and they know exactly who they are. They've certainly lost enough subs recently because of another shitty stunt they pulled. Now, as we are done, because I don't really see a point in playing more, I just want to show that our content really is dead. That's why the end of year reviews are kind of crap. All over the place, but crap. The last part on that last video anyway that I showed you about them being all over the place, these end of year reviews, couldn't be more accurate. Putting together and compiling anything for Chantal, for someone that isn't that successful in the grander scheme, is all over the place, rages at her audience, her haters, and you'll see in May a little bit of Salamor as well, or Sally I think he is often called. Let's call him Chunky now. He's getting a bit chunky and depressed looking. Yes. Anyway, yes, so Chantal's videos are always harder to put together. They're a real struggle, and that is why I have made it a point now not to use my avatar as much. It's just not worth the hassle. No offense to you, the lovely viewers who put up with these videos, but Chantal is far too much aggro. I used to lose an entire weekend doing that, and it's all because she does somewhat a lot, but reality not much at all. And because of the canon that she has created, it's very difficult to put this together in a way that is, well, let's say truthful and I would say entertaining, but that's not a thing. There are other creators who have put together a timeline of events, and they have already in fact received a lot of criticism for how they've gone about it. Certain milestones in Chantal's life, BBJ for example, is a great example of, because of the number of contradictory stories concerning the cat be homed, how it is impossible to appease anyone in that particular tale. But someone will try, and they'll get flack for it. Again. Going into May, Chantal is going to start to fracture more, and I'll put a little bit more effort into that, I promise, but fracture more because of her relationship, contract, let's go with that, of employment with Salah. Things are getting messier, and I don't think she's going to see this year out in Kuwait. She is due a visa run soon, though. Curious to see where she goes from there. During the month of May, Chantal kept herself busy-ish, and geared up towards something that ended, ultimately, for the time being, the Kuwait arc. But what actually happens in June. So I made 3 videos for this month. They are the videos we're going to use to demonstrate what Chantal got up to, because I really don't want to sit here reading for about an hour all her community posts that she's since deleted.
Need help for what? I'm just trying to decide what the hell I want to do.
In before anyone wonders, no, not go to the gym, lose weight, eat better. No, don't be silly. More what filter she's going to use to continually make it look like she's a lot slimmer than she actually is. And if you hear snoring, Mia is really giving it some today. Chantal has a great talent for abusing filters. She uses more filters than an artist drawing one of my avatars that you've not seen in the video for months. I'll put them in on Monday, I promise.
Like, why are you being so f***ing dramatic? Jesus.
Can you tell she's low on funds and needs it, money that is, to buy decent food? Can you tell? It's funny because she started the year off by stating she was going to be a nice, better, improved Muslim revert woman. She failed it within the first 3 weeks and has steadily gotten worse as the month has gone by. She's recently been going in, I believe, on Yaba for the gastric sleeve surgery that I believe Yaba was getting. Or has gotten, I believe. I said I believe too many times. I think I have. I believe. Ha! Chantal must be very bored if that is where Chantal wants to go. Although I'm somewhat surprised, considering the money she had made over the years of being on YouTube, she hadn't considered it herself.
What I planned and what I feel like doing now, that's different. I just, one of my pet peeves, I guess, that is just people pressuring me to do things. Like exercise or stuff like that,
The thing is, you had a super chat goal, I think it was 10 super chats, and you'd go out. You hit the goal, and then you made an excuse not to do it, which is what is happening here. You've made an excuse and you won't do what you said you'd do. It's no wonder people are turning off. It's why more people are moving away entirely from you, because you're just a broken promise grifter. Because that's how you look. If you say you're going to do something, you've got to be a man of your word. If you take all the filters off, you look like a certain type of man. Yeah, King Kong Bundy.
I want to do things when I want to do them, you know what I mean?
No, we don't. Again, you set the goal, so go do it. Additionally, you have people giving you genuine support, genuine advice, trying to help and guide you. Your community have tried to do that. What do? You ban them instead. You block them. You insult them, telling them they're not good beezers, because you just want to be enabled and mollycoddled by your audience. You are the most entitled millennial I've ever encountered. You're the worst one.
And if I don't want to be healthy, and I don't want to eat healthy, I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it.
So nothing different from the usual then, am I right, Chantal? The only thing you ever truly commit to is the smokescreen you put up in the form of filters, to try and make it seem like you're not 400 plus pounds, whilst claiming you're 360, I believe? I believe that as much as I believe in the concept of a god, and since I don't believe God exists in any way, shape or form, that should help you understand that comparison.
Doesn't affect anyone's life, what?
Well, let's see, it affects yours because you're lazy, you're slovenly, you're super morbidly obese, you're a dosser, your content's going down the drain, you had to buy subs to get a play button, so there's an affected party there, because you're a bit of a fat hipster. And then you have those that wasted their money supporting you so you could hit a goal and go and do something, for you to then con them and not do it. Those people should try and get a refund via YouTube for that one.
I'm very moody when people give money. They're giving money to tell me how to live my life? K2? No, it was for an outing, which I will do.
No, but I'm impressed that's what you take from it. No, they're giving you money so you can hit a goal and go and do what you said your goal was for. See, Super Chat goals are a recent creation. Mine, when I do Amber streams, are always buzzballs. With you, it's animal pictures. Because, well, I'm surrounded by animals and I'm more than happy to share pictures. I have an Instagram, in fact, and a Megon one. It's predominantly log cabin stuff and animals. On that note, send me animal pictures on Twitter. A neighbour's cat passed away and I love that cat. I miss him a lot.
I have a feeling you're going to be like this your entire life. Are you God?
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but for the sake of it...
God not real!
Sorry to anyone who is a religious person or believes in a god, but in the context of how Chantal treats what she believes a god is, this particular version of a god does not exist.
You don't know my future. You don't decide my future.
I think you'll find we all do.
You can feel like anything you want, but you have no idea. Like, who are you to tell somebody they're never going to change, they're never going to do this, they're never going to do that, just because they're not doing it immediately?
Oh, pick me. I know the answer to this one. You see, it's remarkably simple. You've been on the platform for quite a long time. You, like your friend, Amber Lynn Reed, so Amber, you were both very cycle-based. You're repetitive, you routine things. That's why Amber's career is going down the drain, and yours is already in the drain. You're circling the drain, in fact. You're circling it at an alarming rate because you have nothing new to offer the online space. You've repeated the same fails you commit for one day. Amber commits for maybe 2 to 3 days, has an off day and then has to reset on the first day of the first month, of the first year, of the first decade, because she can't actually go beyond that if she fails once. You, though, just give up and claim you're doing more and more and more, and actually don't. Your breathing issues are getting worse, by the way. I swear if we just removed your bone structure entirely, you might have a better chance of living for longer if you just existed as a slug.
Like, why would you want to, like, try to bring someone down with that? Like, it's so weird how people are. Like, I don't get it.
Of course you don't get it. You're not smart enough. You're just about smart enough, though, to con your own audience out of super chat money. I would say that speaks volumes to your level of intelligence, but you also simultaneously have claimed many a time you don't care about money. Yet the majority of your existence now is based around you begging for donations because, well, things have dried up, haven't they? Are you on another visa run soon? Because I'm pretty sure you're meant to be on one in the near future.
They come over here, they pocket watch, they watch every little single thing. Oh, well, just because you're not going on the treadmill today, you refuse to go out, you're going to be a failure at life. Like, what? Like, I'm fine. I'm just like, I told you what my problem is.
Spoiler, it's not what she thinks it is. It's actually something simpler. She's lazy, slovenly, disgusting, filthy, dirty, stanky, skanky, hangry, and sexless. Very, very sexless. And I have no doubt all of them put together just induce that rage because it means she has to do something. She constantly puts out content, going, oh wow, I need to improve my health. Oh wow, I need to make changes. Oh wow, I'm going to do better. A day later, oh but my back, I've hurt my back. Oh my god. And then when someone criticizes her for it, oh, world haters. Because that's all she has. It's the same thing over and over again. This is why people aren't watching you much these days.
Yeah, if I bother you that much, don't watch me.
Based on your current viewing numbers, audience retention, interactions, I would advise you against saying such stupid things. Because you are a slave for views you will not survive without them. Without the haters, without world, and without the gullible schmucks that pay for your stuff on, well, the stuff they pay for you on, actually. Is it Cameo and your super chats and your memberships? Yeah, no. You shouldn't be saying that because you need them. You're not getting a new audience at the moment. You are very stagnant. That's all you are. And I know I'm not one to talk. I haven't grown much this year at all, if any at all, actually. That does not mean, though, my opinion is any less valid. Don't try me.
Pocket watch means that they're like watching my pockets, everything I do, every dollar, my finances, everything I do. Like,
I'm not surprised they do this, by the way, because you're not. You're barely paying any attention to what goes in or out. You're just paying attention to what goes in your mouth. You're paying attention to what filters you use on your phone. You sit there, and by the way, your streams are some of the worst streams I've ever encountered. I don't know how you have the viewership at all, because all you do is sit there and stare at your chat. And you engage with that. You have no conversations of your own, you don't give thought to a process or a show, you solely exist to talk to the very people you insult. Not only their intelligence, but their integrity. No wonder they leave you in droves, and no wonder many more people are less interested in watching your content. And by extension, many of the haters as well.
You know what it means, don't be a stupid asshole.
Of course I know what it means. That's why I'm putting this image back on the screen. How dare you be accountable and responsible when you can race yourself into an early grave?
How about you just, Judy, no, how about you just bees and hang out without it always having to be about my effing weight, about my diet, about what I put in my mouth. It's no one's business. I'm not here talking about my diet today. I'm beezing. Like...
Chantal, this is your channel page, your videos. In it, all you do is eat. You sometimes add filler content in the form of speaking. Non-sequitur topics unrelated to your eating because you like to seem like you're a worldly individual that understands the vast complexities of everything around you. You don't, because you're stupid. You are an eater. That is all you are. You talk about weight loss in your content. On your community tab, you delete a lot of that. Of course you do, because you're Chantal. And on your live streams, people want to enjoy you. Sure. Then you push them away. You bully them. You harass them. You make them angry. And then they become your haters. Some of the biggest of which were fans of yours. And you loathe them because they're so much more successful in viewership than you are. And donation as well, I might add. I don't care about a rather large number of them, but I'm going to be jealous of the amount of money regardless. Because money, yo.
I'm 41. I have free will.
Not to try and sound too morbid, but not for much longer you won't, because your free will will be compromised by you being undoubtedly bedbound and stuck in a country you won't be able to leave without the aid of a forklift and a carrier plane.
If I want to destroy my health, that's my prerogative. Like, if that's what you think I'm doing.
I don't think it's a case of thinking it's what you're doing. It's a case that we all know it's what you're doing. It's why you use the filters and do tuck in your Spanx hijab into your chins, which have on numerous occasions slipped out because your filter gave out on you. We know you use a convex lens. Was it concave? Convex one, because it made your phone look like it was a foot-long sub. Do you remember that? And I've proven the filter thing with images like this, because until you did it, where you adjusted your hijab, your face looked a lot smaller.
Yes, I bees every day. That's what I want to do with my life. I want to bees. It's not your business. And I don't want to take a day off either.
So, do you want a picture here?
No.
Yeah? I'll take a picture for you here. With the live also. Okay, 3, 2.
Oh, there's music. Shit.
Wait. Do something fun or funny. Okay, this music maybe in the mall, not inside.
No,
Come.
it's inside.
Wallah?
I'll mute it for a minute.
Ignoring the concern about the music, the photo offers a great opportunity for us, through the live format lens, to see just how short she really is, although we already knew she was a miniature person, height-wise anyway, but also to see what she thinks we believe is the real one. Like Amber with her eating habits with her What I Eat in a Day series, which is a lie, Chantal does the same with the frame she presents to us, as if that is what we're going to believe is the real version. We've seen the filters turn off, we've seen what happens when her cat pulls her hijab and her chins pop out. It's weird how free Chantal becomes when her chins are out, like she's been uninhibited by a symbol of oppression that she's only wearing because she can hide more of herself. Let's not forget here, Chantal's not really Muslim by any stretch of the imagination. She tokenizes the faith so that she can then hide herself with filters. It's why she's unwilling to go back to Canada full time, because if her trolls, one in particular, bothers to go and find her, they'd see her from the right angle. On to the next clip. Now this is them at a place called Chuck E. Cheese. Now I've heard about Chuck E. Cheese. I've heard they cater to adults and children. I've heard it's predominantly used for kids, but that does not mean adults cannot go alone or with their claimed partner, to enjoy a meal together. I've no idea if the food's any good. All I know is it exists. And I've seen some debates in the Twitter space. I think Yarbo's one and a few others, simps for other world creators. The arguments have been quite, I'd say profound, but it's actually the opposite. Starts with an R.
Carefree, hello. More kids are showing up now. Thanks, Chimkin. You too.
There are two great personality problems Chantal has. One is the claim that she wants to be a mother. The other is the reality she does not want to be a mother. She can't be one, we know the reality is also that. But the personality side of things, she likes to try and present herself as someone that likes having kids around. But because she's a professional live streamer, this is not something that she can really throw herself into. It is not something she could do as a full-time thing on the side, because she hasn't got the patience. It's why she has cats and not dogs. Cats are nowhere near as needy, and she can ignore them for the most part. dogs require a lot more time and effort, and I can back that up. In my log cabin, 6 meters by 4 meters, all 4 of the dogs that reside here are in the cabin with me right now. 2 in the living room sleeping on the couch and 2 on the dog bed next to me. They would rather be around someone than around no one. There's no cat here because they don't care. That's more just to prove the point of Chantal preferring cats over dogs, and the low effort that goes with it. Chantal doesn't want kids, and she hasn't got the patience. We've seen it over the years as well, especially since going to Kuwait. Whenever she's been around kids, she really doesn't know how to behave without looking like somebody who does a there from distance, tap on the head moment situation type deal.
Well, yeah, they have air hockey, but it's really low. It's for small kids. It's like this big.
Yeah.
It's not like a regular arcade, guys. It's like kiddie toys.
Small table here.
Yeah.
Query for those who go to Chuck E. Cheese, so not anyone from the United Kingdom, unless they've been abroad to a Chuck E. Cheese. Is what she said true, or is it more likely that it feels that way for somebody much larger? And I'm going to lend credence to that point later on with another restaurant visit where I think the table was moved to fit her girth.
Yeah, I'll have a blast. I'm watching the kid play.
You couldn't look more unimpressed if you tried. Don't worry though, there's more to this highly enthusiastic adventure for Chantal and Chunks. Let's call him that.
What drinks you want?
Diet Coke. It's unlimited. Refills. We can't
What?
keep it? Here's the drinks.
What are unlimited?
You can have as many soda as you want.
Oh.
I don't really care about the unlimited soda thing because it's a very odd flex in conversation. I want to highlight the appearance where the hijab is tucked into an extra chin. And when you get a profile shot of her later, her head goes back further than it goes forward. I swear she's just Thomas the Tank Engine after his head's been removed from the front face plate. If anyone's seen that video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, and it is speculated by a number of the haters that one of the reasons she highlighted the unlimited refills is because they're broke and they need everything free that they can get their rather greasy hands on. Now, not everything has to be in Chuck E. Cheese, and sometimes Salah likes to give us nuggets of wisdom. These nuggets of wisdom come in the form of stating the most bloody obvious thing you can think of, because he's a real interpersonable type, and totally into Chantal.
People finish their work and going back home.
Riveting stuff. Now, Salah is not done with his highly entertaining and insightful philosophical commentary. This is where people have taken images of him now and gone, "You don't look right, fella. You need your beard back. You don't look right without it."
Guys, there's something creepy happened to me today, and I'm so worried about it.
Uh-oh.
Today I had a vision, and after that I got scratched by something in the car.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
So do you think, guys, something might happen?
Well, it is Final Destination Day.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
Yeah, this is the level we're working with, folks. Sometimes I wonder if they deserve each other or not. And just at the point where I start to think no, Salah opens his mouth and says something else. And I think, you know what? Yes, Chantal deserves you. You absolute smeg-for-brained sausage. Now let's skip over to another live stream, where Chantal collected super chats for what was dubbed a bonus stream. That clip you earlier saw was proof that was a load of crap. It wasn't a bonus stream, no, she went to go see, well, Final Destination. She went to the movies. Yeah, here's a clip related to that part. Do you remember when I said unflattering angles? I think that clip absolutely demonstrated some of the lesser interesting angles. Well, interesting at the same time because they show what she really is, a slug with bones. But at the same time, a concerning frame for someone of her claimed weight. I'm curious what will hit the ground first, her feet or her fupa. She bends over 90 degrees, I'm pretty sure she touches the ground and can just lay down, which I guess is impressive. When it comes to the stream thing, where she sets goals, super chat goals, and then doesn't keep most of them, as in do what she says she'll do, and then rages at audience when they call her out for it. There are times where she does actually do it, but only when she knows she has more money coming in. The goals incentivize her to try a little with her audience, but for some peculiar reason she's not as adept at this whole stream malarkey as others are. I earlier said that when it came to sitting at a table at Chuck E. Cheese, is it the tables and the chairs or is it her? Here is Chantal, another restaurant, being quite clearly catered to because of her size, with the table being moved away because it had to fit her in.
So Chantal find a very nice seat here, but suddenly her feet doesn't touch the floor. It's so funny.
Well, hello everybody! Welcome back to another video. Today I'm having quite a Wendy's feast here. So let me explain what I have before digging in. I gotta make this quick because I'm so hungry.
You're having carbs, diabetes, carbs, more junk, carbs, gluttony, and a side of shelved pride. Washed down with a Pepsi Max because you are very, very healthy. I find it fascinating, by the way, that for someone of your size, you fully commit to the sugar-free drinks, or zero-calorie drinks, as they're often touted, when you just eat all that junk anyway, and you're always hungry. It has been speculated by some who do enjoy your food, which is why you eat so much. Others say you don't, it's just all you've got, because you are unwilling to commit to the hard part of simply reducing things down. I think that applies to both you and Amber handily. Neither of you have the acumen to create enough content to vanish for 2 years and then come back completely different. In 2 years, if this has happened, I'd like someone just to play that quote and shove it in my face.
Nacho cheese, barbecue sauce, spicy nuggets, huge french fry, chili, diet soda, and this is the new beefy barbecue. It has onion rings, pickles, barbecue sauce, cheese sauce, and beef bacon. So let's try it first.
But not before I provide you the caloric intake for that meal alone. See, my Google food was good today. I could do all the nutritional facts, but I thought the calories alone would set people up for what this really is. The burger sits at only 464. Okay, the fries 299, the chili 566. And if it's a 10-piece nugget, it's 520, but I think that's 260. I think it's only 5 pieces, because she's already eaten the other 5. Meaning her caloric intake for this meal alone is 1,579. Oh, dog, that's a lot.
Thank you, sweetheart!
Does anyone else think that voice was AI generated? Or just a pre-recorded thing that went off? Or that Salah simply paid the other 5 nuggies just to say something? He does look like he's eating nuggies a fair bit these days. Mostly for the skins.
Salah's waiting for his match boost. No, match boost lahem. Beep beep. Bismillah. The beef bacon. Yes, beef bacon does taste like bacon. Like pork bacon.
I'm going to be that guy because I love bacon and say that is factually incorrect. Beef bacon typically tastes, well, like beef bacon. Yeah, beefier, chewier. Pork bacon, sweeter, fattier, crispier. It's not overly difficult, and the texture is also different, and I say this because I've had both. I prefer pork bacon.
I like eating it separate though. Because I can taste it more.
That's really good.
I'm going to be that person, one of many that's undoubtedly pointed out that you don't typically care about what you're eating. We know this because the amounts of sauce you typically put onto things so that you can get it down. You, like Amber, suffer from chronically demolished taste buds. So I think the real reason why you picked the bacon out is to make the burger a little bit smaller because you can't get as much of your mouth onto it as you wish you could. She's yet to reach the stage of dislocating her jaw at will.
I am feeling a million times better today, alhamdulillah. But I have been like fasting since yesterday.
No one believes that. Don't try me. Although I'm surprised you haven't had more health problems of late. 16 hours of fasting, so of course, you've earned 1,600 calories worth of rewards. Well done. If you hear dogs snoring, by the way, there are 2 snoring behind me. I'm not sorry about that. Just thought I'd let you know they're having a jolly good snooze, and they want you to know that.
Okay, I wanted to talk about something like really weird and creepy. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the fries are like nice and crunchy.
Yeah, you're right. That's real creepy. I'd love to see what Wendy's thinks of you. They saw you on Twitter and the mess of your life. I could believe that whoever runs that Wendy's account would have an absolute field day throwing shade at you. It's kind of what they do. I know it's not really what the creepy thing is that she's trying to get to, but because she takes so long to get there, I feel I'm well within my right to mock her where I can.
Have you guys know who Annabelle the doll is, right? Not the one from, excuse me, from the movies. Babe? You want to come try a bite of this?
Do you remember at the start where I said Chantel's all over the place? Yeah, this is one of those times. I don't keep up to date with peoples, individuals, Annabelle, whatever. Don't know who they are. Okay. But instead we get a segue to Salah tasting food off camera, her roommate. I don't really care about Salah trying food, really don't care. I'm more interested in the focus of the story to see where she goes with it. Since I'm coming at this from a place of ignorance, I feel like that's more important. As someone that live streams and regularly goes on tangents, I can understand the frustration my audience would have with me if I did this on, well, a regular like this anyway. Then again, mercifully, I don't eat while streaming that often because my audience give me too much stick. One in particular.
So the Annabelle the real doll, like it's a real doll. I'm sure a lot of you know that. Most of you know that. But some might not. And until I saw what Annabelle looked like, the real one, I was like, isn't that a Raggedy Ann doll? Look.
So after a quick Google, because it would have taken you 5 seconds to do this as well, the Annabelle doll that currently resides within an occult museum is in fact considered a haunted Raggedy Ann doll. You're welcome.
I don't want to talk crap about the doll because
it might make a reaction channel to you, become one of your most well-known haters. Perhaps a leading figure within world. Are you worried perhaps you won't be able to write any diss tracks? Adequately slam dunk them because they're in better shape and condition than you? I can make some other snide remarks, but it is a Raggedy Ann doll, and there are limits to how far I'm allowed to go on YouTube.
You never know. Like, after what I'm about to tell you, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim.
What again?
That means I seek refuge in the accursed devil from a.
No, can you say it again in Arabic?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim.
Bravo.
Like, I seek refuge in God from the devil because, like...
I don't think you need to seek refuge from some crappy little doll. And I say crappy little doll because, again, I don't believe in paranormal or occult. That's not a dig at anyone that does or makes content in that area, not even slightly. I will just politely roll my eyes and say, if you're willing to make some random bleh statement, as a way of trying to seek solace so you don't cross certain lines. Yet you cross lines on a regular when you go in on your haters. And vice versa, of course, they do too, but none of it justifiable. Let's face it, at this point, it's just turd-flinging monkey territory. Then chances are, you making that quaint little statement carries no weight whatsoever. But go figure you go hide behind some deity you dub God, when the lightest enemy you could possibly make throws shade, because you know you can't throw any shade at them for their looks, because it's a doll, weight, because it's a doll, or anything else actually, because, well, in case you didn't notice, it's a sodding doll.
The real Annabelle doll is reportedly possessed by a devil, a demon. So in the 70s, you guys know Ed and Lorraine Warren. Psychics, demonologists, all that, occultists, whatever.
Yes, grifters, gotcha.
They put her in a case. And they, you know, blessed it, whatever. And they strictly instructed people not to move her. And don't take her out of the glass.
So this to me is where I believe this is nothing more than a con. If we are to believe in the concept of demons, no one's allowed to touch or interact with, because maybe the demon is transferred to a mortal soul and becomes a human, which means we can then contain them. You would present this for people to look at, rather than locking away in a box and throwing to the bottom of the ocean, or incinerating in a volcano or something. Doing something more proactive to destroy, or perhaps even look for the demon's true name. Hell, their name might be Clyde, Keith, Kevin, Barry, any other basic bish names we can go with. Trevor! The demon's name is Trevor! No, instead it is simply put on display for people to observe. Guys, there's a demon in that thing. Oh my god, it's held back with wool and some purity seal of some kind. Okay.
So recently, mid-May, a ghost tour company decided to bring Annabelle on tour to New Orleans, okay? You pay $60. You get to see her. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I start to draw a line in the sand. Profiting off a demon seems very strange to me. Almost seems, in and of itself, to be a form of corrupt living. Oh, guys, give me $60 to see a Raggedy Ann doll that might have a demon inside it. If we're to believe demons exist, that demon made a deal with the person who set that up. Oh, no, wait. It's a continuation of the grift. Okay. I'm guessing some of you might now be wondering if Chantal gets to the end of this particular mukbang with her food demolished. No is the answer to that. Now she believes she ordered too much? I don't think so. I also don't believe when she says she's sick. I think she's just getting to a stage now where her stomach can't stretch any further without rupturing.
Oh, I'm full. I had a lot of food. The thing with the fast food is, especially here, they have the value menus, they have the meal deals, and honestly, I didn't pay for a large upgrade, but they just upgraded it, which is, I mean, that's cool, but anyway.
I swear I could turn that into a song, that beat alone. It's not bad. Joke aside about music, I think the reason you didn't finish the burger is because you didn't like it. You certainly weren't enjoying it when you were eating it. Your chewing has gotten worse. I do think you're wiggling the food around your mouth. Your occult story meant nothing to me, because I don't care about it. But I'm not surprised you're inserting these stories because you need something to deviate away from the standard world commentary. Because you want to be removed and above it. Eventually you have a crash out, a blowout, or you start lashing out at those nearest you, like your roommate, that you pretend your husband. The month of March for Chantal is going to be one of the worst months for her, for a whole slew of reasons, one of which being the Q8 arc at this point is over. Or will be, soon. Well, during this month anyway. Whether she goes back or not, I do think she'll try possibly in the future, but I think if the internet is as much of a weapon as it is, she won't be able to go back legally. The reason why I covered in one of the first videos I released during the month. I only released 2 because Chantal kind of went dark for the majority of the month, which for her is bad. With her lacking in content that are rewatchable because she keeps privating and deleting it, she doesn't have that passive income that many others have. And so during a live stream I also queried where she was because she kind of, well, she was gone for a while. And the reason why will be the first video I play so you can get the full context of the mistake she made. And I'm going to insert now. If you claim to be in a country for 2.5 years on a tourist visa, which is what it was, constantly hop, skipping and jumping to go back, yet never learning the language, the culture, the laws, the practices, the societal norm, only to then break them and not bother to understand it, chances are you deserve to be where you are. Consider that all foreshadowing, guys. Today we're going to be talking about somebody who might not survive much longer if they don't change quickly, but oh well, yeah, okay. Over the weekend I did a live stream on Moist Ski Live, was it on Thursday? I think it was Saturday, on Chantal, Foodie Beauty. I'll link the stream down below because I don't want to play the video of, well, clips from the live stream where she picks up a kitten and does some stupid shit, okay? She grifted a load of donations and it turns out she's opened the floodgates to a mountain of problems. Now, she is due a visa run at some point in the month of June. So if she's quick, she might be able to avoid them, but I do believe there is extradition potentially involved if it gets escalated any further. A recent legal change in Kuwait made certain donations a big no-no. Not that Chantal knew. I mean, she's been there 2.5 years and still doesn't speak the language. She doesn't understand cultural norms and practices, and, well, Chantal's going to Chantal, basically. And because Chantal's going to Chantal, she's made it, you know what, actually, we're just going to go through some things. It'll be so much easier to explain with a physical medium to support my points. So we'll start with something from Chantal, where she discusses some DMs, right, concerning the kitten and the organisation she had reached out to get assistance. Now, she had raised over $600 to help that cat, and she even offered up her PayPal to receive direct donations because Super Chats take over a month to be received. When it comes to animal welfare, many of us will immediately pounce on helping. It's just in our nature to do that. Chantal, in follow-up videos to what you're now seeing on the screen, she had said that she'd never seen that mother cat ever again, or couldn't find the kitten. But as it turns out, she'd actually seen the cat before. As many of the intrepid types within world pointed out, she'd actually been in that area before. This felt like the whole event then is scripted to sensationalize for clicks. That's a no-no, isn't it now? But it doesn't stop Chantal from being Chantal. It doesn't stop her doing what she's always trying to do. Chantal essentially reached out to try and get ahead of a situation she created because she had screwed up and potentially broken a law in Kuwait. With the visa run upcoming, this isn't so good for her, especially if she intends to stay there with this facade roommate situation moment type deal. And what Chantal did, as more unfolded, was proceed to get angry at the haters rather than simply take responsibility, accept she screwed up, and move on. Now, when you create a community that's entirely made of poison against yourself, it's going to be very difficult for you to get them on side even if you concede guilt. So can Chantal shelve her pride long enough to simply do the right thing? The answer is obviously a no. Pause Kuwait have posted on their Instagram, which I don't recommend anyone go and look at because it's incredibly graphic, an update regarding a rescued kitten and mother. There's been a lot of misinformation circulating regarding the stolen kitten. We want to clarify the kitten and her mother have been safely rescued by one of our trusted team members. All medical expenses have been fully covered by Pause Kuwait. Anyone currently asking for donations on behalf of this kitten or her mother is not associated with our team in any way. No further donations are required or being requested by us. They, Pause Kuwait, finished by stating the intention to get these cats rehomed in the US. I don't know if that's an upgrade or not based on how I've seen animals mistreated in America, but I won't say any more just yet. DX, or Pete's of Poop, can't say the name, YouTube will get me. She streamed for 34 minutes, simply titled Hi. She got angry on this stream. We might have some clips of it, actually. In fact, I have this one.
No, Deb, I felt something was up because
I messaged them and they said they were going to help. I sent them all the information. I sent them the pictures of the cats and everything. And then they didn't answer me, like, for a whole day, you know, because I said, do you accept PayPal donations? Because on their very own page, they say, we need help, you know, with this and that and that. So I thought it was just helping. I'm scamming how? Like, what? Like, I received, like, $70 in PayPal, and I used, like, 50 or more for the pet pharmacy vet clinic. Like, what? Get a life. Anyway, do what you want. I'm done.
There is something somewhat amusing about watching the desperation in this very short live stream unfold in real time, because as more unfolded, she got more and more angry, aggressive, and worked up, yes? We also found out that during the stream, Brucey was going to be rehomed, the cat that I showed you, the kitten.
They rescued Bruce and his... Who did? What? Who? Okay. So, I guess they're being rescued. They've been rescued. But I feel like haters probably, like, bombarded them too. And now they're like, we're not accepting. There's, like, this big drama post on their page. Like, we are dealing legally with people asking for illegal donations for the cat. Like, what?
As more of the stream unfolded, people started to accuse her more and more of being a scammer. Salah was also trying to tell her to take this offline because this was not something we discussed in the online space. She didn't listen.
So I thought it was just helping. I'm scamming how? Like, what? I offered to send them what I had from PayPal left to them to help. And they're like, we're investigating. Okay. I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here. I'm not dealing... I don't have to live my life this way. I don't have to. Nope. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking more, Salah. Keep messaging me. Keep doing it.
In one very obvious respect, he is actually looking out for you both, which to an extent makes him at least seem like he has a small modicum of decency. Chantal, though, is terrified. You can tell she's terrified because she's in an area that she doesn't fully understand, the legal side of Kuwaiti life. Then again, she's the same person who dunked on her own country of Canada, yet keeps going back because healthcare, yet she's not entitled to it anymore because she doesn't live there. To then claim, in one respect, to claim that Kuwait is amazeballs, whilst also saying, oh, by the way, we've got loads of rats and they're dead, it's a hygiene issue. I'm not surprised. Not least when you waddle about looking like pestilence.
Honestly, I don't feel safe telling you the whole story right now while I'm here, so I'm leaving.
Now, upon hearing this, my first thought was, oh, so I guess we're getting a visa run earlier. Is she rage-quitting Kuwait and finally going back to beezing it up like she did in the good old days? If that's so, I can't wait to see the next Amazon pile of cardboard shame. Trash Mountain, I believe it was known as. Yes, I can't wait for that. Does it mean you're going to try and get BPJ back, if they're even alive now? Let's face it, Chantal, you were never going to quit just yet, but there's also an additional thing here of, there's a possibility she couldn't leave anyway if she leaves it too long. But what do we know? Well, let's find out.
Cheat you. I hate when I'm in a bad mood and my husband tries to talk to me. I know I try not to, like, take it out on people around me, like, and be, you know, crabby. So what I do is I just, like, just leave me be. I just need some time because I don't want to be crabby, you know?
I know that's an earlier clip, but I should state that that makes it look like she's going to paint Salah as an ABUSER and use it as a valid excuse for a visa run. No offense to you, Salah, if you're watching, but you are about to become a scapegoat. You really are.
They're not suing me because I'm not paying a dime. Like, I need to get out of this country, man. Like, insane. Which country villainizes people for trying to help? Like, what? Like,
Now with that nugget of information, we'll bury it to the side for the time being, bury it, place it to one side. Chantal's decided that there is some blame to be assigned, and it is to Pause Kuwait. And of course the haters, but Pause Kuwait first.
Yeah, no, I'm getting in shit. I bet you I'm gonna get in crap for trying to be nice and help them. If it weren't for me, they even used my pictures on their page. Yes, they're harassing everybody.
So Pause Kuwait have put out a statement, a clarification statement. Our rescuer, Sania, saved both the kitten and her mother. So why did someone else take the kitten away from her stable, non-critical mother? If the goal was truly to help, why wasn't the mother taken too? Why wasn't any proper update like a vet confirmation or hospital video shared? Instead of transparency, this turned into uncoordinated fundraising, while the actual rescuers who covered all costs stayed silent. Helping is only meaningful when done legally, responsibly, and without confusion. Collecting donations for personal use is illegal. All donations must go directly to the vet, not individuals. The official complaint will be filed by Monday and we'll share the case number and documents soon. Ooh, this is not a good start for you. Chantal did put out a small statement upon this coming out by saying, "Hi guys, I'm more than okay. I had time to regroup and realize none of this is worth an emotional response, and I will take a small break from the net to enjoy life, and I'll be back when I can. Miss Yaz." So, when's Smee giving you a hand, hey? I should point out that statement, the clarification statement, came part of a much larger illustrative statement, but the clarification part was the only bit that we actually need for this particular video. Now, the community tab is where Chantal goes next. Enjoy my karma? For what, you complete morons? For trying to help a dying cat? My bad, idiots. Anyway, I'm out. Upon seeing their statement, Paul's Q8 statement, Chantal posted, "You've got to be kidding." Well, you have to be kidding. The kitten's mother wasn't around. And the vet we took the kitten to said if we hadn't brought him in, he would have died. Do you not understand that? Second, where's first? If the mother is so stable, why the need for so much vet care, and why was the kitten malnourished and infected? It was fully transparent as we brought the cat to the vet live so the whole public saw it. We did not know it would be illegal to help a dying animal. My bad. What's really awful is penalizing someone for trying to help. Good luck with your case, you will need it. I offered to give your charity the money people gave to me, but anyway, whatever, do your worst. As you can see here, she carries on by first of all stating she reached out to a couple animal shelters. Clink, 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 clink. Do you hear that? My dogs want you to know they're having water. You're welcome, everyone. It's doggo break. Without pictures, though. You have to see that on the stream later. It's my old plumpy. I got here, let's see. Bruce, his medicine. I will take pics and go live later. Ignoring all drama related to this, so sad people are so evil. Feel free to rage into the abyss because I'll be ignoring these dumb, hateful comments. Ha ha ha. Now the same people mass reporting for taking the animal to get treatment are now asking if I'm going to continue to get the kitten help or let it die on the street. If it dies, it is the haters' fault because they mass reported me taking the kitten. Oh god, gaslighting. Nice. Not me being responsible, guys. It's your fault. Now, I covered this one on stream, this image here, Veronica Mack, so we're not going to bother reading it. But man, she is coping hard, and I love it. Now, back over to Twitter, Perfectly Imperfect had tweeted, "Let's talk about how mind-blowingly reckless it is for Foodie Beauty to stay in Q8 right now. She is facing potential investigation for illegal online fundraising, which in many countries, including Q8, is a serious crime. Here's the kicker. Once authorities open the door, they don't just peek in, they tear the whole house down. Here's what's very likely to be scrutinized. Her visa, her marriage, her husband, his business, her own work, with explanations to accompany each. This isn't just drama anymore, it's potential deportation, fines, legal charges, or even jail time. The funny thing is, if the investigation begins and she's still there, she could be fined daily for it, and she won't be allowed to leave until she pays the fine, which is hilarious, because we know she's going broke. I don't know what Salah's situation is, being of Syrian, I think, descent, whether he can remain or whether he'd be removed as well. Ultimately, I have no idea. But with Chantal, because I'm more interested in her fate, this is very true. Now, someone had also pointed out that actually in the past she has said things mere weeks ago about other people in different countries like Vitaly and how he should face consequences for his actions. She is therefore, by her own words and logic, no exception to the rule.
And I'm sorry. I see people defending this guy like, that's too harsh. You know why it's not too harsh? Because Vitaly broke laws in the Philippines that have that kind of harsh sentence. And all it took was for him not to go to the country and disrespect and break the laws.
Pause on Instagram. In Q8, legal action can be taken against threats and hate messages through various laws, including those related to cybercrime, defamation, and criminal offences. Specific provisions address online harassment, incitement to hatred, and the use of technology for coercion or blackmail. We, Pause Q8, have been receiving threats and hate messages urging us to withdraw the legal case we are pursuing. Let us be clear, we are not backing down. The legal proceedings are moving forward, and every single threat, hate message, or act of harassment sent to us will officially be reported and investigated by the authorities. No lie, I can see a number of trolls doing this, pretending to be acting on Chantal's behalf. I can see that, and I can see VPNs going through the roof. This is not a game. We are treating this matter with the utmost seriousness. They use English better than I do. How gauche. Anyone, whether a friend, family member, or follower of the individual involved or attempts to intimidate, threaten, or harass us, no hide, will also face legal action. Under Kuwaiti law, acts like harassment, threats, and cyberbullying are considered criminal offences punishable by fines and imprisonment. Can we have a mugshot of Chantal? Do you treat mugshots similar to the UK, where you're not allowed to wear anything on your head? No filters? I'd like to see that mugshot. Thank you. It'll just confirm a theory if she has piles or not. Paul's Q8 did continue to post more statements. Now, some of these included DMs they'd received classifying them as terrorists. I'm not going to show those because they get really dark and they're kind of, yeah, no, don't do that. I don't believe any of these came from Foodie Beauty supporters. I think they came from haters who want to give off the impression they're supported, to make the situation even worse for Chantal. Chantal did go to her community page and continue the fight, as it were. And, it's kind of in her nature to be this way. For example, Lamau, I know I'm taking a break, but just heard the funniest song lyrics ever from Guess Who? Don't give me no hand-me-down shoes. Well, that's a start. But then she also said, oh god, I have to zoom out on this one. Here we are. This is the last post I will make publicly about this matter. I'm okay. Don't worry about that. First off, I don't in any way condone any threats to Paul's Q8. I'm not intimidated by the threats either. We also have consulted a lawyer and will counter-sue as your public display is very unprofessional. And we have screenshots of you making fun of my weight with the same haters you are listening to. The law states you cannot accept fraudulent donations. We have proof that we spent those donations on vet care and supplies. Also, I offered to refund, not if it was a super chat, because you can't. So also not a scam, since the people who super chatted said not to return them, but to use them for what I want. It is not possible for a person to know every single penalty code and law in a country. You ran into the arms of the very people who actually work with the Kuwaiti government. Just thought I'd share that. I like that you spend the rest of this trying to appeal to emotion. It's a form of fallacy. You're trying to be emotive to make it seem like you're on top of this. But this is your last post, everyone. This is Chantal's last post.
No, we never did, and we never will make fun of her weight, how she looks like, and whatever. It's like it's irrelevant how she looks like and how much she weighs. We are notified the authorities, and already been one complaint was already been submitted to the social affairs, and it will be forwarded to the public prosecutors, inshallah, within tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And now we are after Salah.
LOL. Well, we both know what's about to happen next, don't we, guys? Imagine being a supposed professional charity organisation, and you spend all day listening to trolls on the internet, and running to file a case against someone for using donations they received to help a kitten in need, and then threatening to go after an innocent family if they can't get me? Yup, nice professional behaviour. And then they wonder why anyone would want to flee. But you want to be there because it's the bestest place in the whole wide world, Chantal. It's why you spent ages crapping on Canada, yet you go back there because you desperately need the healthcare. But you gotta pay your taxes first. Don't worry guys though, Chantal still isn't done with the community posts. Okay, last post.
Yes, the kitten was in need. The vet told us that easy to prove. It was all live.
You people are so that word I'm not responding to your dumbass comments. I swear you all share one collective brain cell. This post has since been deleted.
Alright, so I'm just going to say right out, just say flat out, you're not getting any tea. Like, for anyone who's expecting me to spill some big revelations about Chantal, it's not going to happen. I'll do everything in a week anyway. I mean, assuming Chantal can keep herself from spilling details before then, yeah.
Yes, it turns out Pete's still on the internet and had some nuggets of wisdom where he refused to share. Fair enough, Pete's. Your one chance to get something out of this Well, fair enough. You got some integrity at least, am I right, folks? Something I'm enjoying is the fact that this crashing out from Chantal is happening in real time. Hell, it might still be happening when this video goes out. Community post time though, because we're still not done. Quote, "You really don't know when to STFU, do you?"
Nope.
Sorry, but why should I? I'm being accused of something, and wrongfully so. I will not shut up. Sorry, but I come from the land of freedom of speech.
But you're not in the land of freedom of speech. Also, you kinda don't really have it in Canada anyway.
I'm not wrong either, just to be clear. Now, someone had pointed out in this post that the way she spells organisation is the same way one of those hateful people that messaged Pets Kuwait, Pets, yeah, pause, that's it, spells it the same way here. As far as I'm concerned, this would indicate that Foodie might be in on this. Continuing though with the community posts, imagine this is your life. Look at this lovely bee salivating over this happening, over-analysing potential legal repercussions.
For trying to help a cat.
Repercussions that none of which will happen
As usual.
The thing I ink from, that awfully hideous forehead tattoo you have, has warped your brain. I'm sorry, it's just too hard not to clap back at these parasitic losers. Even if this was true, you think they are just going to throw a guilty verdict automatically? Lol, I can't. Okay, I'm done with this stupid BS case. But I'm sure Paws will keep posting publicly about it for clout and to make an example. Yes, I said it that way on purpose. It's a reply to the Fat Cow Chronicles, who were going through this, who pointed out that if you overstay your visa, you'll be fined that amount a day every day, and you're not allowed to leave until you pay. There's a point to this, but I love it. Continuing. Yeah, I deleted my post, meant every word, I just don't want to give it attention. Impulsivity, bees, as usual. Gonna deal with this situation privately. Not sure when I'll make content. I'm tired of the internet, leaving this post, lol. Okay, I'm out. Back to Pete's though, because someone had asked him if he'd ever want to be a roommate with Chantal again.
Like, if I were able to get a... If I'm able to find, like, a full-time job, then, sure, I'd be open to it.
So Chantal is still not done with the community posts, all of which have been deleted. Prompted over concerns over fraudulent activity. That's a quote, apparently. First off, we did not start fundraising for rescue efforts. Paws is acting like we raised thousands for ourselves under the guise of helping animals. They are accusing us of scamming for donations, and then tells us the story yet again. The article below even says to avoid penalties, individuals can donate directly to vet care or for supplies or to an organisation, which I offered money to Paws. If this is not allowed, they could have simply said so. And that would be that, but no, because they want clout and applause for publicly persecuting someone who's only trying to do a good deed. Super chats are not fundraising, they are part of my job. They were sent for the kitten as they thought I would be adopting. But because we got told to return the kitten, we did that. I then asked the people who gave the super chats if they do want them back. They said,
Do scammers offer the money back?
We received very few PayPal donations, which we used for the vet clinic, which you all saw online. We will have the vet testify also. So none of the intentions were fraudulent. We received PayPal for the vet care and food. We went that night to do it. The vet said the cat wasn't going to live much longer. We didn't say that. A medical professional did. So Paws is going to start this huge investigation over like 15, I assume Kuwaiti dollar, was it dinar, which was used as we said it would be. Where's the fraudulent activity? It is also not illegal to do YouTube content as a tourist in any country. If that were the case, explain travel vloggers. As Repsion has pointed out, travel vloggers edit and release content, well, they don't until they're out of the country. So he is right here, actually, and you are a tourist. You're welcome. Perfectly Imperfect include another story from Paws Q8, who are going to continue collecting the threats they receive and showing legal documentation along with the case number, which means it's now public knowledge. They're actually pulling the trigger. Now, I'm not going to take a side. I don't need to. This is too interesting. Watching Chantal scramble is hilarious to me. You need to understand consequences. The only way you're going to is when one of them hits you so legally hard, you've got no choice. I fully expect you to be sleeping top and tail, Pete's on his bed while he's fapping one out to your heels in the not-so-distant future. As a final thing, because I'm sure more will come out with time, Repsion did make a video on this. I have not watched it, but I can link it down below if you're interested. Either that or I'll just rickroll you, whichever's easiest. I shall be streaming on Twitch before I stream here later tonight. And also, the complete editions of End of Year Reviews for Amber and Chantal were released on Saturday and Sunday. I know they're very long, but if you just press play and ignore it, just walk away, it's all good. No, I'm kidding. Smash the like on them, I'd appreciate that immensely. Thank you so much. And do have yourselves a wonderful day. Ta-ta, everyone. Hi, Future Meg here. I love that as I was rendering this video to upload it, a new update came from Paul's Q8. Thanks to the #1 against the YouTube of collecting donations and spending them on themselves, the complaint was dismissed and patrolled to the Attorney General. Anyone involved with her will be judged legally, God willing. Which apparently means it's being escalated. Oh dear. What a shame. Now during this time, Chantal had still kept an active cameo but not. She jacked the price, she reduced the price. She jacked the price to nearly $100 per cameo, by the way. Not worth it. Which told us she needed money. I have for the past 2 years been positing the theory that she is genuinely running out of money. Because of this, other YouTubers like Legal Mindset paid attention to her. Because of this, people started to pay attention to see what else she broke. See, as a tourist, she's not allowed to make money there. Which would go so far as to explain why in 2024, she was briefly demonetized when she was switching the account to Salaz, who went underground as well. In July, that will become more of a relocation thing, moment. Skipping ahead towards the near end of the month of June, and Chantal finally resurfaces after many weeks away. And I'm going to say, if she didn't absolutely smash the remainder of this month monetarily, she was going to be financially screwed going forward. I personally believe she was back in Canada. I felt she would have to go back there and rebuild her life there, stay there, and reset, but not go to Cornwall, because Cornwall would be the wrong place to go. It's a small place and everyone would find her in minutes, no matter what she did. Yeah, about that. Last night we hosted a live stream going through parts of Chantal's Foodie Beauty's Big Beautiful Me Biza Productions Return to Canada. I'm very sorry to all Canadians who are having to suffer Chantal again for an electric boogaloo. Now during that 6-hour triumphant 6-hour live stream, she received a lot of memberships. Congratulations, a lot of super chats. Congratulations. Something I didn't know was what she was charging. Now I do believe she had altered the fee on her Bizas at some point, but the rates aren't horrendous. For somebody who is as active as she was, charging at most $4.99 a month, actually pretty good deal. Yeah, especially considering she has all her streams typically public anyway, and she needs them to be public. That first stream got over 27,000 views in the first 24 hours. She did well. For being inactive for as long as she was, this is a start. During that stream though, she did a few mistakes. Those mistakes are already starting to bite her because of the toxicity she has created with the communities that are very anti-her. Take, for example, she said that she was in Cornwall. So when some of those aforementioned haters noticed the structure of the room she was in, it didn't take long for someone to work out, because Cornwall's not that large, roughly where she is. Something which I, along with many others, will say, creators especially, because we know this is a bad idea, don't do that. I said it last night, I'll say it again. Do not go out of your way to find this information. It serves no purpose beyond potentially causing harm to her. She can do that to herself, it is not up to us. And also those dunking on the structure of the property and the layout, bitch please. Those places look nice. Get off your high horse and stop swallowing those black pills. Okay? Alright. That was one issue that arose. The second, obviously she alluded to the fact that she is not going to be in Q8. Going forward, it's probably for the best. Many of us had called for a while for her to go back to Canada and stay there. As it is well known, the only way she could ever have gotten citizenship in Kuwait would be to work there 20 years unbroken being there. She'd never be able to leave for 20 years. Well, she managed 3 months at a time, because visa run, because she was at best a tourist and switched her bank accounts to Salah, who might still have access to that. If that's the case, I fully expect in the future, if she is unable to go back to Kuwait, I expect her to be absolutely reamed by Salah, who will take the opportunity to tell everyone everything, and a lot of people will want him on their channel. No point if you're a hater telling me otherwise. We know you will. Now, since that triumphant return to YouTube, she has streamed twice more. Not sure why it's 2, but it was 2. The first stream of which was setting up her new place, unpacking, buying new thing. The newer one I actually have no idea, but we do have some clips. I'll go through those soon. But before we get to those clips, I want to read some community posts because it wouldn't be a Foodie Beauty video without a community post of some kind. At the end of the 6-hour live stream, or certainly towards the end of it anyway, quite far into 6 hours, Chantal mentioned she was getting a new cat. The cat is called Smokey. People have reached out to the place where Smokey resides at the moment and warned that place of Chantal. I want, just to be clear, all cats to go to good homes. Chantal barely has her own life in order. She should not be getting a cat yet. She should be a better person first and know how to look after herself. Apparently she doesn't know how to do that without having to be bailed out monetarily by family. What little family she has left anyway. So when people call her out for how she treated BBJ, ditched Julia, rehomed Sam, which in that first stream she did in fact admit, no, there's no point getting Sam back. BBJ is unlikely also, by the way, but that could be for multiple reasons. I'm not going to sit here and speculate on any of it. Because people called her out, she, in community posts, said, "Where am I, a neglectful pet owner?" I said neglectful wrong, didn't I? Because BBJ's nails, but not Sam's, were overgrown while I was away and didn't know, but yet she was well taken care of for 21 years. Oh, and not to mention Julia. She's so neglected. Your brains are neglected. She's fixed, poorly I might add. Gets her nails trimmed on a regular. Can't prove that anymore, can you? Displays nothing but loving behaviour. Her litter and food are always clean. She's not underweight. She's microchipped and vaccinated. That might be a shot at Amber. So, yeah, sit and spin. I see we're doing well with those gummies, aren't we? Also, to the idiots claiming this on their channels, you do know that's actually defamation and can easily be proved. And now that I'm in Canada, I'd be leaving me alone because you are going too far. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my new pet coming Friday. That will be loved and
well taken care of.
Quick thing, because there's a few bits in here that are important. If Julia mattered so much, you would have found a way to bring Julia with you, if at all possible. But the moment, according to you, where this all went wrong after that last stream you'd done, which was 30 minutes long and you deleted, but don't worry, I've got it, you got out of Dodge. You ditched everything. The only thing I think you brought with you, if memory serves, was your CPAP, which needs upgrading. You've admitted as such. It's on the way out. Let's face it here, Chantal, you're going to be paying for medications as well because you've got to earn your access to medical stuff now, haven't you? But I do believe if this does go away and you're not charged any further, you're not found guilty, you're not punished in Kuwait, I do think you'll ditch everything again and just go back. You have changed the title of your first stream back from High to Kuwait Arc is over. I kind of think you'll go back for an electric boogaloo. Although at this point, if you do go back and Salah plays ball with it, it's folie à deux. It really is. The second post, also, BBJ had chronic kidney issues because she is old. Her vet told me that. So she was prone to UTIs because of this. You people are dense and know nothing. And know the villa was not unsafe also.
That was years ago.
There's never been an incident with Julia, so get a life. So I'm assuming you're not going to be having Pete move in with you to help pay the bills. Not that he'd do much. He doesn't like working. He's not a fan of it. When are you finally going to ditch this fake Muslim arc? I did mention last night, and I had mentioned earlier actually, about the comments being left on the Toronto cat rescue site with Smokey. Well, Chantal had obviously put that in a community post. You people are literally creepy and psychotic. Do you not feel embarrassed that you are doing this much? Anyway, while you are wasting your one life doing this, harassing shelters, I am still getting my cat Friday and there's not a damn thing you widows can do about it. Yay. I mean, they could link your live streams with you quite clearly high on, well, gummies. What about that picture that's doing its rounds of you and a cylindrical chemistry device used to capture smoke and be inhaled at the top? Oh, what's that called? Rhymes with Kong, Dong, Long, Mong. So let's take a look at some of the clips and pictures that were doing their rounds after your most recent stream, simply titled,
Where My People At?
As you can see, by the way, her streams are doing very well as if nothing had happened. Her viewership generally hovers between 9 and 10,000 views for a live stream, which I'm very jealous about, I won't deny. Her live viewership for the first stream was over 1,000. These are a little bit lower, of course they are. But she has rewatchability somewhat on her side, and she needs it if she is going to finish this month as strong as possible. Let's not forget here, she had been gone for 2.5 to 3 weeks. As far as YouTube AdSense goes, her paycheck next month is going to be bad unless she finishes strong. And she's going to need to if she's going to push forward. The first image, tweeted by Queen Jellybean, is a picture of Chantal shaving. I'm not here to judge, but I have been told the more you do it, the more hair grows. I've also heard it's quite popular, common in fact, for some to bleach that area. But never mind. It's not my place to judge what's with their face. I guess the interesting part is watching the filters work overtime, as usual, but this time because you're actually making a definitive change to your face, so none of us can tell what's going on. Also, shaving cream really helps. It's a good balmy sort of solution, apparently. I say this as I've got a beard. I have no vested interest in any of this. Give it time though, I'm sure Chantal will have a sponsorship deal for her channel with Manscaped. The next, shenanigans. Imagine taking in a pet that you aren't prepared to take care of because you need it. Her selfishness knows no bounds. Included is a 51-second clip that of course I'll have to splice into 2 parts.
Oh, you know. I feel like that's why I didn't want to bring my cats. That's why I rehomed them, Katie J and Sam. Because the traveling, I was so afraid for them, like going to the Middle East, you know how long of a travel that was? Oh Lord, no. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, Teardrop. When I get them, I'll go Smokey. And you can't go, because that's probably what they're reacting to.
My view when it comes to getting pets is you, Chantal, should not get one. No one should have one. Can't afford to look after yourself. I think the priorities for Chantal should be to rebuild her life, give it time, 6 to 9 months. Get some financial stability behind you. In fact, your own audience said the same too. Get some money behind you, save it first. Once you're there, once you're ready, then get a pet. The problem with stability for you is you rely on the streams and the controversy, because if you don't have it, you've got nothing. So you have to be a mess. Which means because people have gone IRL with you and you've given so much away already, you won't be able to do the one thing I really think you should do, and that is have a job away from YouTube. Financial stability comes from a foundation. You built yours on this. This is where you built it. I've always had mine from cleaning work, and I've had that work since 2013. I'm never going to give that work up either, by the way, because I think it's very important. In your case, you don't understand how important it really is. And because of the poison you've created as a community, you're unlikely to go any further. Ash Renee. No, I'm not paying for a home incubate. A quote from Foodie Beauty. Well, we know she ain't giving Salah a cent for the cat or the mess she left him to clean up. Included is another short clip.
Oh, the ear mites alone. No, I don't pay for a home incubate. Why am I telling you that?
Because Chantal fled, it is believed by many that the filed charges against her will instead be put on Salah, essentially meaning, if true, she effed him completely. The buck stops at you, Chantal. You should have never left. Not because I believe you should go to prison, but because you made a mistake, and the only way you can properly correct it is to own up to it, accept your consequence, and then deal with it. One last tweet, this time from Shenanigan. If this man was truly sleeping on her, it's because she was spilling into his seat. Nothing comes between Chantal and her food, not even a non-English speaker just trying his best. Because Chantal has story time, everyone. And I like a story, don't you?
I sit right beside a man who was falling asleep on me. Like, and he didn't speak a lick of English. And that's fine. I'm not being racist. But because he couldn't understand, it took like, his meal service was before mine, right before, and I was hungry, and he took forever just ordering even the drink. Hi, X-rays, because it was like cranberry juice. Cranberry.
Now, As far as I'm concerned, I fully expect Chantal to start being more like what she was before she left. And given enough time, as she gains more access to services in Canada, she'll start to screw up again. She's already started by taking gummies before her, quote, anxiety. The anxiety you are feeling is called responsibility to everyone else, because we have to deal with grown-up problems. Yours are entirely of your own creation. I don't support people going real world with you, but I also don't support you getting a cat. Smokey deserves better, Julia deserved better, BBJ and Sam, I hope they're living their best lives. I really do. I fully expect you to continue down this path because you are not learning any lessons. If you are, you've never said it. You've never acted on it with any level of sincerity. The one thing you need to do now you're in Canada, a country where your body can acclimate better being outdoors, the best thing you can do right now is get your health in order. The one thing you don't seem to want to do. You need to, because if you don't, you're not going to see much more. Time is one of the most valuable commodities, if not the most valuable, on the planet. It really is. And yours is borrowed. No doubt off family that you'll never pay back. As we reach the end of this subject, please do let me know what you think in the comments down below. I shall be streaming on Twitch later tonight. If you're on my Discord server, my dear friend David is coming down for one night. He's got to do an errand for my family somewhere, I don't know what. But we're going to be doing a little whiskey VC on Discord concerning a very old sample set that I have for the distillery Bunnahaven, a 2019 Fazila set. Do join us. And Chantal, lay off the putts in, as you call it. Lay off the putts in. For the remainder of the month, Chantal does not upload any videos and only exclusively live streams. Now, the streams are a bit weird. Some are quite long, 5 to 6 hours. The majority, though, are 1 to 2. Some are, in fact, less as well because she does the car thing again, which immediately got doxed by the internet as a location that she frequented. The internet really is a weapon. She needs to get off a high horse on that one. But something I noticed, and many would undoubtedly have picked up on too, was that Chantal was making it seem like she was settling in, but she wasn't. She didn't have anything to unpack. She didn't really have anything. She had no car, but all the luxuries and freedoms she has in Canada, and there are plenty of them, were never enough for her. She even got herself a cat called Smokey that she rehomed immediately, which should have been an alarm bell. That's the 4th cat that she has taken the opportunity to rehome, but it should have been a warning sign because Chantal did not settle in this new place. If I had a place like that, I'd be very happy, by the way. It's not a bad-looking accommodation. It really wasn't. But Chantal knows, because of the nature of the monster she has created as a community that vehemently hate her, she can't show much beyond a blank wall. She has no choice in this, and living in Cornwall, a place that I've been reliably informed by Canadians is quite small, she kind of, she's given too much away. It is my firm belief as we go into part 3 and July, she had made more than enough to get by based on the several days she was in Canada, or the several days she live streamed in Canada while she tried to sort out a place elsewhere. Consider that foreshadowing as well. Up until that point, I think she was staying with family because she couldn't get a place quick enough. And based on the amount of rent this was, she needed to just crack on. She's a full-time live streamer. The fact she left, which we'll go into July and explain more of course, speaks volumes about how much of an idiot she is. And we all know where she went. But for those that don't, there are a few countries in this world where there are restrictions and government-based recommendations. One place I would recommend you never go is a place where you have no rights as a human being. If you don't have any, you shouldn't be there. Try telling that to somebody who never listens to anyone when they tell her what to do. Because much like Amber, Chantal thinks she knows best. We're in a position now where we know where this ends. Going into part 3, while this will undoubtedly be very interesting to many of us to listen to, watch, and see unfold in real time, the rest of us, it's just danger all over. It's not just a red flag by the standard of what a red flag is. There is no flag for this where it's ever okay.